Yo guys, hello and welcome to Uncommon Sense Live number 20. Wow, in the 20s now, we're getting big. What's up guys, how are you? How has your 2022 been? Yeah, it's I don't know that I've said 2022 in English yet. 2022. The second 2020. I hope you are all good. I am good. I just been through the first week of my bulk, so trained all the workouts, feeling pretty good about it. Preparing some bone broth as we speak. I finally got from Nordic Kings, the link in the description to the capsuled organs that I have a discount code for. They finally sent me the bone broth, or he sent me it a long time ago, but it ended up in the wrong place at first. So now I finally got it. Hey Hannibal the First, how are you? Do you have any question for me? Anything you want me to talk about? Please go ahead and tell me. Yeah, it's been a while. We skipped one stream because it was Christmas, like the second day of Christmas. And then I skipped one because I was just so exhausted from my Christmas fast that, I felt like I could have gone live, but I would have no energy, no output whatsoever. So, boiling water. Okay, let me show you. Don't have really enough space here. Okay, let's do it like this. So here is the bone broth. It's a little weird now because anything is, anything. When I stream like this, it's on a delay for me. So can see if you can see it. But yeah, beef bone broth. It's like a powder. Let's read the label for a second. Our bone broth premium, I love the word premium, is made from the absolute finest raw materials sourced from Swedish, grass-fed, organic and Krav certified cattle. Krav is some kind of, quality certification in Sweden. Marrow bones and bones rich in collagen are gently simmered in filtered water for 72 hours to release all the powerful nutrients. What's left is an incredibly nutritious bone broth that we carefully dehydrate into a clean, tasty powder. Bone broth premium contains absolutely no emulsifiers such as soy lecithin or sunflower lecithin. That's why you might need some extra stirring while preparing. So what I love about this is that bone broth is something that I would like to have in my diet, like as a staple in my diet. But getting bones and preparing the whole thing is kind of a mess. I care a lot about what I eat, but that doesn't mean that I enjoy preparing it all. But so it's a perfect thing to get in a finished powder like that. And it's the thing about bone broth is that it's rich in collagen and glycine, two proteins that I've been supplementing on their own. Glycine, I think I can do still, but collagen, they're quite expensive sometimes, and many times like artificial, not the same collagen as you would find in an actual bone. So I love this, but let me take a minute to try and prepare it here. Oh, this is not the... Is this what I had in mind? No. Oh, there. Yeah. So this is how to pour water into a cup. Don't pour it too fast. You might get some on your hand, and this is quite hot water. We don't want that. Okay, let's put it there. So I can show you what it looks like. Like that. I think you can probably see. Yeah. Nice. So 1 to 2 tablespoons is the dose. A little bit more. There we go. Let it sink in for a minute. Okay, Hannibal, you asked, forgot to make New Year's resolutions. Any recommendations? Not big on the whole thing, you know. It has to be concrete, I'd say. Like, you know, making making resolutions like, this is the year I get fit, or this is the year I finally lose the weight, or whatever. It's too vague, you know. You have to have some kind of plan. Oh, now finally YouTube tells me it's great connection. That's good to know. It has to be concrete. Like, I don't know what your current, but I'm just making up an example now. Someone who isn't training is like, I'll go to the gym at least twice per week this year, you know. I like, it has to be concrete. All these fucking vague things. I'm gonna stop, I don't know, getting into new relationships too soon, or la la la. It's too vague, you know. You have to say, I'm not dating anyone for 3 months if you have that kind of goal, or yeah. No, I'm not big on it. I haven't thought about it at all. I'm happy. I'm working towards my goals all the time, you know. So why would it being a new year, us saying January and 2022 instead, mean anything really, you know? But, you know, to a certain extent, I think it's a good time to start things, you know. It's like when I started with my online coaching clients now. Like, I recruited them in December, but it didn't make sense to start with everyone, knowing that everyone is going to go into their Christmas things. And it's one thing if you already have a client, and then it becomes Christmas and you talk about how to deal with that, but it didn't really make sense to start with, like, yeah, we have 2 weeks of, you know, normal life, and then we have the holidays coming up right away, you know. Yeah. And of course, if you decide to do something like, I want to get fit and stuff, and you know that Christmas will bring a lot of not optimal food and stuff, then if you know, figure that out in December, yeah, then maybe wait until the next year to do that. But in general, just fucking start. It doesn't have to be a new year for you to start. See, we have a few people in here. Never know exactly how many, because that count is messed up. But if you have any more questions, I'd appreciate it. Talk a little bit more about the Christmas fast. I mean, I guess I put out a video with the aftermath of it all. At this point, you know, I learn more. You never stop learning, even about things you have a lot of experience with. But I figured out that at least being as fit as I am with the amount of muscle I have and the not so high amount of fat, a fast longer than 3 days, I know is going to take a toll on me afterwards. And yeah, boy, like it was insane how drowsy I was. No, and this is the point too. I never felt bad. I just felt in a really like low output state. Like I physically and mentally felt like doing exactly nothing. And so I ended up, if you most of the time sleep 8 hours per day and are awake for 16, I'm pretty sure that at least on, not even on the January 1st, but January 2nd, I think I pretty much flipped it. I just slept all fucking day with like breaks of going up to eat or pee or something. But I felt great. Well, after these like 2.5 days or something, I felt really, really great. This week when I've been in the gym, even though I've been giving it my all, I've never going from there. I felt so fresh. Some of the workouts I did that are similar that I did before the fast, I would have been just wiped out after, and now it's like my body was super fresh going into it. Hannibal first. Found your channel on Snake Diet. Cole says to eat lean during refeeds. Do you agree? Who should eat lean during refeeds, and for what reason? You know, I can't just agree about a general blanket statement like that. Like, yeah, if weight loss is the goal, you know, then probably, you know. I know now we can combine it with what I was talking about. Like, I'm surprised. I weigh more now than I did before the fast, and I didn't go binging, especially not on any junk, you know. But it was quite a bit of fat, but it shouldn't have been that big of a surplus. But I think, you know, the body, as someone put it in a comment, you know, the body strives for homeostasis. Do you say that? Homeostasis. And, you know, the body, it gets comfortable at different body weights. So like me, if I would have wanted to keep the weight off after the fast, I would for sure have had to keep both the calories down and probably the fat too, because the body, when I've lost so much fat so quickly, the body is probably wanting to take anything it can and just hold on to it, and that's why it put me in that kind of state where I have absolutely no output, you know. So yeah, if the purpose is weight loss, yeah, you say that, weight loss for fat people, yeah, I would agree. Keep it lean or keep it like keto and low calorie, like make sure the calories are absolutely not high enough. Then I think that would work. No, but I think the whole thing is if you have high carb, high fat, that won't be good. Like keep the fat low, or if you choose to eat fat, remove the carbs, kind of. It's always when we do weight loss, we always remove fat or carbs, and never protein, really. I am the one. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm the one. Was you the atheist, the non-cringy atheist, if I recall correctly? How do I keep myself from being afraid of losing muscle on a fast? I know it's an irrational thought, but it keeps popping up. Look, the only thing you can do about that is fast and see that you don't lose muscle. I've talked about this before, probably worth making a separate video on. But I've of course, when I got into fasting, spending all this time, effort, you know, hard work to build muscle, of course you're afraid of losing it, like eating nothing, you know, yeah. And I had to, this was something that came back, you know. It was not that I fasted once and like, oh, I didn't lose muscle, so I'm not afraid of it anymore. At this point, I am not, you know, because I've just seen it too many times. So you're just going to have to be afraid of it, go through it. Like, how do we overcome fears? There's no way of overcoming a fear without facing it, you know. So you have to face the fear of losing muscle. You have to fast and know that maybe I lose muscle. I'm not sure. Then, like I've heard it's with everything, you know. When we get to know something from the outside, we're like, yeah, that makes sense. I think that's probably true, but we can't really know until we experience it. It's like another example I always try to tell people who are just getting into training that like you have to, you know you're not healthy, you're not feeling good, and you have times in your life that you used to work out and you know you felt better, but you don't truly know this until you experience it. You have just some vague idea that something about the way I'm feeling, how I'm doing, will be better if I train. But when you start, it just feels horrible because you're weak and you get really sore, and nothing happens right away. But as soon as you experience something like an old lady I trained, or older lady, but older woman, I guess. She couldn't walk for longer than half an hour without getting tremendous knee pain. And when she noticed that, she was out on a forest walk, foraging for mushrooms, you know, with her friends. When when they did that, she had to take breaks many times because her knee hurt. But now, all of a sudden, when she was like, hey, I walked for like 2.5 hours without any knee pain, that's when she's like, this is it, you know. And then was when it was easy for her to continue with the training, you know. Is the birthday special left? Thanks, Chloe. I guess I forgot to remove the birthday special from just copying the old stream. It's not my birthday anymore. It was almost a month ago at this point. But thank you still, though. Yeah, but look, so that whole tangent about the woman and training and how you can know that you're gonna feel better, but you don't truly know it until you feel better. It's just an idea before, and then it's real. It's the same with the losing muscle thing. You understand when you hear me or Cole say it that no, I probably won't lose muscle, but you don't know it until you experience it. That's when you actually know, you know. That's when it's no longer an idea, it's something you know. Yes, Lol, you have a good memory. You are the non-cringe atheist. Yeah, I know. I get surprised at myself at how well I recognize the screen names in the chat and the comments and stuff. Like, it's not that many people, but I know it's been a while since I saw you, so... Oscar Jansson, sup, biohacker? Yeah, what you gonna do about it, Oscar? I'm a biohacker. What's up? What you gonna do about it? Hannibal first. If an overweight person does not eat fat or carbs, does brain function better or worse while fasting? What are you saying exactly? If an overweight person does not eat fat or carbs, what do you mean fat or carbs? You should eat some. Yeah, are you just eating protein? That I don't think. But does brain function better or worse while fasting? That's my fear. Look, this is again. Try it. You will try it, and you will know better than me, because I have not been an overweight person not eating fat or carbs. I would not guess that it's so much worse. Let's have a sip of bone broth. Yeah, I like it, but it needs some salt though. Yeah, can I think I can remove the birthday special from the title while streaming. That's funny. I changed it to 20, but I forgot to remove the birthday special. Yeah, I can't change it. Birthday special. Yeah, guys. There's some things I could talk about, but I'm kind of saving it for videos, like my training and stuff. Gonna be weekly training logs on the Fridays, and yeah, it will be fun. I use the whole testosterone thing that I of course am using and want to work, but it's more of a gaining attention thing, and a lot of it will just be telling you about my progress, my bulk. I weigh fucking 85 kilos starting this bulk, or a little less when I started, but that's quite insane. I never expected to weigh this much without kind of being a little fat, at least. Yeah, guys, I don't know what to talk about. It's been a while, kind of lose lose the skill. It's like if you don't record videos in a while, even if you've recorded like hundreds of videos, it gets more difficult. It's something you have to maintain, kinda. Well, again, the bone broth, Theo 15, 15% off, shipping all over Europe. So that's nice. Yeah, I don't have much to say, guys. I'm just gonna be quiet until you make me talk about something. Well, this I can talk about. I mean, I just saw it pop up. Hannibal the First. You ever go to Planet Fitness? I unfortunately have not. I've heard it's great gyms. No, what I've heard about Planet Fitness is that it's like only made for people who can't really work out properly. That if you work out properly, you kind of have to leave. If you're too loud, slamming the weights. Like, of course, I hate fucking CrossFitters. Not CrossFitters. I don't hate them, but I hate that so many of them, they just love slamming the weights. I understand sometimes. I do some exercises where I kind of have to slam a bit, but come on, some of them, you just know that they love. I get the same feeling of these people with the trimmed motorcycles that just make a lot of noise. They just love it. People have to notice me now. I'm making a lot of noise. I'm big because I make a lot of noise. Okay. So no, I had never gone to Planet Fitness. It was close that I signed up for some kind of trial week when I was in Salt Lake City, I think. But I ended up just training in the shitty hotel gym instead. I am the one. How is the testosterone going? Well, it's only been a week, but it's going well. I mean, the training is fun. Like testosterone or not. I think I feel something from it already, and that is slightly increased appetite, because it's something I'm quite sensitive to picking up on. Since I don't really... hunger I should say, because I have an appetite. I have no problems eating. It's just that I don't really get hungry. It's very, very few spots where I'm actually like, oh, I'm hungry. It's more like, oh, look at the clock. It's time to eat, But so I've noticed, and I've made my dinners a little bigger, because I am on a bulk too, But so that's what I'm noticing right now. We'll see. It will be fun, because the first training log, when I actually tell you about the training, I will have done probably will have done every workout but one twice. So we'll see what the jump in weights is. You live in Utah, cool. We'll see what the jump in weights is already after the first workout. I know some exercises will go up immediately for sure. Yeah, you live in Utah. Yeah, I was in Salt Lake City when I was in the choir, and we competed in the International Barber Shop Championship. But I was in the city most of the time, and we went some mountain. Was that like subconscious memory? Was the mountain I climbed? So did it have bird in the name? I have to see. Well, some I don't remember, but we climbed some mountain at least. And you asked before this, what workouts can I do to replace squats? You mean what exercises? Well, a squat is just kind of defined. You know, there are different types of squats. I would like to know why you want to replace the squats. Because then, I mean, there's a bunch of exercises you can do for the legs, but why do you need to replace the squats? If it is that you don't have access to it, my favorite is the Bulgarian split squat. If you just search for Bulgarian split squat, you'll find it. But it's what I did. It was my main leg exercise when I trained at home. Well, I can't show you now, but you take one foot behind you up on a bench or something, and then you squat on the front leg. You do one leg at a time. And that's a type of squat, you know. So if it's just that you're lacking equipment, you're working out at home or something, then I think a Bulgarian split squat would be good. But like lunges count as a type of squat. Lunges or Bulgarian split squats is fear of hurting back. Okay, then you should do squats and get over that fear. What is this? Everyone is afraid of everything. Afraid of losing muscle, afraid of worse brain function, afraid of hurting back. Yeah, fear of deadlift, squats, hurting back. Well, just go easy on the weights then. It's like, you know, it's not that just being in a position will hurt your back. It's I was thinking about this recently, about training, you know. If you injure yourself training, it means that your body was too weak to handle the load in that position, you know. It's not that some movements will just hurt you. It just doesn't work that way, you know. It's like, you know, the deadlifts, we want to keep the back kind of straight. I don't mind it's being a little hunched over like that. But you want to keep the lower back straight for sure. But there are exercises like the Jefferson curl. Again, I can't fucking show you, but we do the exact opposite then. We curl our whole back. We round the back. But of course we use much less weight because it's a weak position, you know. I'm the one. I already have a bad back, so I can't squat. What have you done to try to fix that bad back? Like, I've had so many injuries since I started training, and I train around the injuries and I try to fix the injuries, you know. And I think you should be doing the same. Like, almost all injuries not all can be completely healed. Especially if it wasn't just, you know, something that happened during training. I mean, today, this was the first thing. If someone shot you in the knee with a gun, you know, like, you maybe won't be able to fully recover from that, but even that you could make a lot better. But almost all injuries can be like this fucking right shoulder of mine. When I hurt that, I had to walk around like this. If someone came and wanted to hug, I was like afraid of them touching it. It hurt so bad, you know. And it's like 100% now. 100%. It was just me staying away from pain-free movements, doing a lot of pump work, just getting blood flowing in there, and slowly it got better. I've had many CT scans and been to chiropractors, etc. They found nothing wrong with it. Okay, but that's Okay, but what have you done about it is what I said, not who looked at it and said something. You know, have you trained your back? Have you tried to train your back? Most of the time, pain in the body, it's movement that will solve it, you know, the right kind of movement. And it gets worse if I do exercises that hit the lower back. Yeah, but how about training the rest of the back? So, you know, that hit the lower back. I mean, sometimes, I mean, you say you have back pain for 10 years, so I guess it's probably bad, but sometimes when people say pain, I'm not sure what they mean. Like, because if doing exercises that hit the lower back, it should hurt the lower back. It should not feel like an orgasm in your lower back. It should not feel like nothing. It should feel painful, but the right kind of painful, you know. I tried training with easier weights. Yeah, that's decent. The Pigeon Stretch I like. Just gets worse. Interesting. Yeah, well, some injuries are really tricky. They are. Just gets worse. I trained the rest of the back. Well, good. Well, that's interesting. I'm trying to think, you know. I mean, I guess I would need to see your body and the whole thing, your posture and stuff. And it's not like I'm an expert at everything in this, you know. Like injuries often, it can be so individual cases, you know. Some things are just like, you know kind of right away, like, yeah, just do this, you know. But, yeah, back pain is a tough one in general, not only the lower back, you know. Yeah. No, Salt Lake City was a good time. That was the last time I was in the States. Was in 2019. Time flies. I've been training for a little less than a year then. Radiating knee pain on the same side. Look up knees over toes guy. It's for sure like that guy. He has had so much knee pain or knee problems himself, and you would never know when you watch him now. Like he does the most like the exercise he does looks like they would be the most dangerous to the knee, you know, and he does them so effortlessly, and he posts like testimonials so often of people having knee pain for years and overcoming it with his exercises. So check out knees over toes guy. And you never know with the body, it's very often like your back pain could have something. I don't know if you've had the knee pain for as long, but sometimes it's like this, that something about your knee hurting makes you compensate in some way that, you know, ends up with your back hurting. It's not yeah, you say it yourself even. When my back gets worse, the knee gets worse. So probably some kind of correlation there. It can be so much like I talked to a chiropractor named Hannibal, actually, just because we have a Hannibal in the chat. But he talked about how my stiff, like, is it called wrist? Yeah, stiff right wrist could lead to injuries in my left hip. And I have injuries in my left hip. Yeah, well, check knees over toes guy. Just... Yeah, if you can hear what I'm saying, so you can Google it. But his Instagram is literally that, just in one word, knees over toes guy. Very good. Yeah, it started around the same time. Yeah, that's interesting. But it does make sense when you start to think about it. It's of course sometimes difficult to figure out exactly like why something specific would affect something specific. But it's not strange that it can have a ripple effect. Something makes you compensate in another way that makes you do this, you know. Yeah. It is quite good, the bone broth, for just being a fucking powder. I actually have stiff wrists, lol. Yeah, so many things I noticed. Like for the short time I worked at the Grand Hotel gym before I went full-time into online coaching, like you see so many, like we got the trainers got like an analysis by the chiropractor done on the client before we met them, and you see how you can see some correlations there, and some things that almost everyone has problems with, like internally rotated shoulders, tight hip flexors. Like I don't think I saw a person that didn't have that as a comment, in their analysis. It's good. Yeah, if you haven't liked the stream already, please like. 10 likes. Wow, hitting the big numbers. So I'm thinking of starting like a podcast, but not one that's like, oh, on this day every week an episode comes out. That I want to kind of interview people. The unfortunate thing is most of the people that I have in line are Swedish, and that's fun, of course, but a bunch of you guys won't understand. And it's not like I'm gonna sit and make subtitles for like a 2-hour long podcast. So, but I'll have English-speaking guests too. But I think that will be fun. I can monologue quite a bit, but on these streams sometimes, just don't have anything interesting that happened recently or anything to talk about. So someone can please join I am the one in the chat and hit me with something to talk about. It's so easy. Just say something dumb, The habit. I was gonna say, the online coaching. So I'm officially one week of officially 100% self-employed, and it's cool. Mixed feeling. There's a lot of freedom, just being able to do whatever you want with your time, but also a lot of responsibility. Like the good thing with being employed is if I have like 5 clients booked in the gym, I just have to show up and train them, But if I have no one waiting on me, I'm my boss, I can always be lazy if I want to. So it's a double-edged sword. A lot of freedom, a lot of responsibility. Alan Blair, do you consume grains such as wheat or oats? What makes up majority of the food you consume? I don't, not on a regular basis at least. Like I would eat bread if it's served on a dinner or something, but I never have bread at home, for instance. I might buy it if I make like hamburgers or something, but I buy sourdough bread then. The majority of the food I consume is red meat and rice, the vertical diet. White rice and red meat. I now on the bulk I've eaten I don't eat exactly the same every day, but a typical day I'd eat like 2.5 deciliters of uncooked rice, like not at once, I'm just saying the total quantity. Now 800 grams of red meat, like 50 grams of liver, 3 eggs most days. I have my Greek yogurt, kefir, protein, honey and berries thing, orange juice with every meal, with pulp, a high quality one, a raw carrot with every meal. That's pretty much a typical day of eating for me, and it's been like this with very small tweaks for like, how long is it? It's almost 2 years. Yeah. Almost 2 years, but the majority of what I eat is red meat and white rice. And look, the white rice, it depends on who you are, right? If you should be doing that. I think, I believe in carbs. It's this sort of weird position because, there are these, a lot of low carb, keto, carnivore folks, but there's also the mainstream people that eat way more carbs than they need, And I believe in carbs, but I don't want to go to eat, like, if we're just talking people, anyone just out there should probably eat less carbs. But I think carbs are important for performance, for muscle growth, definitely. And it's for hormone production even, for the thyroid. I am the one. I broke my femoral neck leg when I was a kid and spent 6 years in hospital with a metal rod in my leg. You spent 6 years in a hospital? That's insane, bro. Maybe that causes less length growth on my left leg and thus an imbalance that causes pain down the road. 6 weeks. Okay, oof. Yeah, 6 years. I'm like, shit, what happened to you? What? Okay. Yeah, that's very possible, you know. Very possible. Hannibal the First. Utah is 60% Mormon. Has very healthy population for an American state. Yeah. I didn't experience the Mormon part so much because I was just with all these barbershop people, you know, choir people or singing a cappella people from all over the states. So it wasn't like, it's kind of funny, you know, I was there, but it's not like I interacted mostly with people from there, you know. Yeah, 6 weeks. What have you read about eating lots of protein at once versus eating protein in multiple meals? What do you mean what I've read? I don't read. That's the whole thing with this channel. The Don't Read Books channel. No, but I'm just kidding. But look, my opinion on the thing that I from experience, combined with what I've read, I guess, or just, you know, research I've made, is that, well, in general, if we're talking muscle growth, the most important thing is the total amount of protein. But when you eat protein, there is an immediate increase in protein synthesis from eating the protein, like a spike in that. So that lasts for like a little less than 3 hours or so. So spreading out the protein intake might be slightly more optimal because you spike protein synthesis more times. And if you eat if I eat protein and eat more protein 1 hour later, it's not going to be a fresh spike in protein synthesis. So in conclusion, the most important thing is to get enough protein. But after that, yes, it would be more optimal to space it out. And it's just my experience too. Like when I was eating in 4-hour eating window or so, like basically OMAD, you know, I ate something smaller, I had my workout and then had a big meal. So basically OMAD split into my 4-hour eating window, probably less, you know, but that was like the cap. I just didn't gain as quickly as when I ate 3 meals spread like 3-4 hours apart. So yeah, it's not only from what I've read, it's my experience too, that spreading out the protein is better for muscle growth, but not necessary. It's not something you have to do. Like, just look at Simland, you know, he's been eating OMAD-ish for a long time, and that guy is fucking jacked, you know. So it's, I think, you know, it's again, you know, on this, I talk about it on this channel, that it's a very high goal for me to build muscle. And I want it to happen as fast as possible under certain conditions. Like, fasting has to be involved in the mix. I'm not giving up on fasting completely. I just come up with better ways to structure it and stuff. And so, you know, you have to decide then, like, I see I have some benefits that I really want from 1 meal a day. And that's more important to me than this little last bit of extra gains I could get from eating more frequently. So I take that and then I do everything else I can to make as fast training progress as possible, you know. Yeah. Please, do you see how easy it is for me to just talk when you bring me stuff? So please, I'm asking you, it's for both our sakes. You get me not being quiet, and I get happy because I get something to talk about. I finished all the bone broth. I just got a confusing message from a guy. Yeah. I wish I could automatically afterwards cut out these breaks that are bound to happen when the stream is so small, you know. Yeah, I posted. Can you even see it? You know, when you've already been to the gym and now you have to wait until the next day to train. And what was it? I feel this way except today. Legs workout number 2. It's from the first stream I did, not the first stream I ever did, but the first stream I did before calling them Uncommon Sense Live. That he was in the chat, and I joked with him that he posts. He's this big bodybuilder guy, and he will post like every same picture every fucking day, like arms today, chest today, shoulders today, back today, but you never see him post legs today. But I know he does actually train legs these days. Hannibal the First. What do you think about Cole Robinson's style? His style, you mean his fashion? I like his shirt, Snake Night shirt. Does he ever wear anything else? I don't think so. But no, I'm just kidding. Of yelling at people. Well, look, I like Cole in general. I love him for going his own way completely. And he has given me a lot of wisdom. I for sure, it was a bunch of things he talked about. I was annoyed about the yelling because I wanted to just learn about the fasting, and I had to be yelled at and called fatty all the time, listening to it. And it's not that I get offended by that or anything, but it's kind of. I'm like, I just want the information, man. Like, but it's very comedic. It can be very funny, and I think I have talked to him directly on the phone. It's not a show most of the time. I feel like sometimes he's just like, when he just has to do a video, but he doesn't really feel like it or something, it becomes a little forced. And I feel like, you could do some videos where you chill a little bit. About the yelling, I also think it would turn some people off. And I mean too, in the sense that, some things will turn people off and you can't just care about that all the time. But I think it would turn some people off that would listen to him if he was just a little calmer sometimes. And I felt like when I talked to him on the phone that he was yelling at me so much and didn't let me talk. And I was kind of like, bro, like, let me just get a few words in here, It's not that I was afraid of him yelling or like feeling he was mean to me or anything. It was kind of just annoying at the point that, okay, but can I just say this, So no, in general, I like Cole. I don't agree with him on everything completely. Like, that's the whole thing. Don't have gurus completely. Like, you can have people you follow and look up to, and then inspire you and motivate you and stuff. But don't just dedicate yourself to one person completely. I never do that. I have a bunch of people like Cole that I admire and look up to and have learned a lot from. Still agree on with a lot of things. But in the end, I take what I like about them and put into my whole thing, creating my concept, This is what I've talked to so many coaches and trainers and stuff that does this, They build their own style through, collecting from other people, Like at some point, some things you just can't be original about. Everyone has done everything already, but what's original is the way you combine all these things, His profanity is a turn-off somewhat, you said there. That's where I found your channel. Yeah, I'm happy that I have some, that's the whole thing. Some of my most viewed videos have snake diet in the title. Maybe I should abuse that more for the algorithm. But, it's because I don't even like it, I did it with more plates, more dates too in a video, and it worked too. It got more views. And so I see it as a strategy like that. But, I don't feel like I'm doing the snake diet. I never have. I learned from a guy that calls his channel the snake diet, but I do in part of my uncommon sense thing, fasting is just part of it. But, his profanity is a turn off somewhat. Yeah, when it's too much. It's like with cursing. I want to curse a bit. I realize I like cursing at times, but if it's fucking fuck all the time, it's like loses its power and it becomes just annoying, Alan Blair. Red meat and rice are my base also, easy to digest for me. Also eggs and oranges. Yeah, I just can't deal with oranges, so I buy the orange juice with pulp. And, it's something, if you have a food addiction or something, I'd recommend staying away from that because it's easy to overdo. But I like it for me, with a high energy expenditure and such, Let's see. I'm the one. Would the people who get turned off by that be able to fast for prolonged periods of time, though, if they can't fully handle being yelled at? Yeah, I don't know. It's that, I think certain people know, but say some people, they would maybe, without even hearing the ideas, would be like, just, I can't deal with this fucking guy screaming at me. More in a reasonable way, more than that, you shouldn't be telling people, that kind of person, So, I don't know. Handle being yelled at. I mean, I can handle it, but I haven't watched a video of Coles in a long time. And many of them, when I start them, I'm just like, I can't deal with it, I know one. The electrolyte drink is key to prolonged fasting, so that is the main thing I learned from him. You start feeling pretty bad if you just drink water. I've been thinking about this. I think I need to try just a plain water fast just to see the difference, because I feel like it's probably something you could get used to if you did it. But also, on the other hand, it's like, why not just take the salts, It's such low effort. I guess a lot of people think it's icky or something, because I get the question so often, if I drink snake juice, or do you have to drink snake juice fasting? And a lot of people saying that they don't like the taste. And to me, that's so weak, It's just a little unpleasant taste, How bad can it be? It's like, yeah. Just deal with a headache or whatever then. Alan Blair, do you have any issue with fiber? I always thought it was FODMAPs, but I find overtime fiber really... you find over time the fiber really is the main issue. No, I have quite low fiber in my diet. I wouldn't say I have an issue with it. I don't know, because I haven't tried eating high fiber in a long time. No, I don't have any issue with it. I for sure think it's kind of overrated. It's probably that you need some for the gut microbiome, but it's there's nothing nutrient-wise that you need, because you can't even digest it and make it into energy in the body. So I'd say my take on fiber is probably what's recommended might be a bit too high. But I think a little bit of fiber is probably good. If I forget to drink, I'm the one again. If I forget to drink the electrolytes, I feel weak, and then when I drink it, I feel better within an hour. I get all my energy back, especially when I drink it after a long night sleeping. Yeah, well, I believe in electrolytes and salt very much in general. Like, it's like the first thing I do in the morning. I drink coffee in the morning, but I always drink. I take some salt and a glass of water. I like almost any time I drink water, I take salts. If it's not like I just had a big salty meal and then after a while I get thirsty, then I just drink plain water. But yeah. Chloe, I'm a 26-year-old female, 5'2", 95 pounds, having trouble gaining muscle. I recently added more meat and protein in my diet and do targeted muscle workouts, but doesn't seem to be working. What would you recommend for me? I am the one asks a good question. Do you focus on getting stronger in the main big lifts, bench press, squat, etc., and deadlifts, rows, stuff like that? I mean, okay, you're quite light, yes, but you're quite short too. I recently added more meat and protein in my diet. Yeah. What about carbs? Eat carbs. Targeted muscle workouts. Like, it's still kind of little to know. Like, how often do you work out? What does your workouts look like? Are they centered around big compound lifts still? do you train to failure? Do you train hard? You have to train hard, you know. I'm gonna put out a video about that tomorrow. It's what I've noticed, just being in the gym, but being a personal trainer in the gym and online coach, is that most people just don't train hard enough. Like, because, you know, people have a lot of problems, but why is it that some people are always in the gym when I am there and nothing happens to them? They stay the same always. Well, the answer is they don't train hard enough. They just do the same thing over and over, you know. You have to take some sets to failure, and even on the big compounds, not necessarily to failure, but close. When you re-rack the bar after a set of squats, you should be happy that it's over. You know, you shouldn't be. It was like one client sent me a video when she was squatting, and when she came up after last night, it was just like, go in with the weight, and it's like, dude, you're just moving. You know, you're not training. You're not putting tension on your muscles. You're not breaking them down so that you can build them stronger with the meat and protein. So, Chloe, please give more details, you know, and I'm happy to give you, a better answer. Hannibal the First, is it true 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat? I don't know. I don't know what people mean when they say that, you know. Like equals 1 pound of fat, in what sense, you know, that if you burn 3,500 calories you would burn 1 pound of fat, or I don't know what people mean with these things. I don't think in these terms. Carmen Rodriguez, do you think New Year's resolutions are pointless? For some reasons people think a new year means they will all of a sudden have discipline. We talked about this at the start of the stream. Any tips about New Year's resolution? I was like, no, not really. Just crush your goals anyways, you know. But what I said is that, sometimes if you come up with something, if you, like in December, realize I should really take charge of my health, I should start training, then maybe it's good if you, at that point you come up with it, to wait after the holidays when you probably know some things out of the ordinary will happen. It will be hard to do your new fitness thing. But in general, I don't... a new year... It's like I've been working in a gym, you know, and all the memes you've probably seen, it's not a lie that the gym is just super crowded in January. Everyone knows it too, that most of these people will disappear after January. It happens every time. And it's actually the same with the week, I noticed, working in a gym. On Mondays and Tuesdays are always when most people are in the gym, because they are catching up from what they, the shit they did in the weekend. And some people are too tired still on Monday, so they come on Tuesday. But it's the same thing. A fresh start. Let's do a fresh start. No, so I'm not truly a believer in New Year's resolutions. Like if you are already a person working on yourself and stuff, why not, you know, you can set like intentions, like, this is something I'd like to be even better at, or things like that, you know. But I think for other people, they have to, I mean, what I'm saying is I've seen some people that I follow and I really like that have some New Year's resolutions, but it's more like tradition at this point, you know. They probably have goals they set all year. But so if anything, just an average person, set something concrete would be my thing. I will go to the gym at least twice per week this year. Not I will finally get fit. It's too vague, you know. It needs to be concrete. I'm the one. Remember that muscle building also takes time. It's not done overnight. So you might be thinking of too small of a time. If you couldn't do it in December, what makes you can think you do it now? Start tomorrow. But I'm just saying, like, it's like you broke your leg, and like now is when I get huge legs, you know. Like, no, obviously not a good idea. So maybe just wait, give yourself, like, if you actually start, then, you know, like, yes, for some people they will put it up anyway, you know, but it doesn't have to be black or white. But no, you have to start now. You just have to start now. Like, sometimes it could be reasonable to put up starting a little bit, but most people should just start things, and not wait until it's a new year. I kind of tried to come up with a situation where I think it's a reasonable... Like, again, with me and my online clients, like, why would I want to start 2 weeks before Christmas with new clients? It's a whole other thing if someone is already a client and then it's Christmas, you know? See if I missed something in the chat. Probably not, because I'm so happy for every message I get. I even have the live chat, not the top chat thing. You could start doing the research at least. That's very true. But for instance, me, when I started training, like I did just start randomly at the end of July 2018. And I decided I want to, because I understood that I could make good enough progress at home for a while. I didn't want to start going to the gym right away. I decided that around like New Year's, sometime was when I was going to start going to the gym. And so that's what I did, educating myself a lot on training and specifically, of course, the gym. So when I came to the gym, I had my workouts done. You know, I knew what I wanted to do in the gym. So absolutely. Well, that's a whole other thing. So many people get stuck in, I just need to know more. I just need to do more research. And it's just fucking start, you know. You learn most from that. I remember that. I had that realization that even exercises that look very simple, like a cable fly, 2 handles, you pull them together like that. But if you've never done it, it doesn't matter that you watched a video of someone do it. It might feel weird. You might just have to feel it out to get used to it. And it's like when you're a personal trainer in the gym, so many people comment like, yeah, but you that has an education. And I'm always like, yeah, I do have the paper here that says I'm a trainer, but like 99% of the things I know because I've trained and made progress, you know. And I just want to have someone that watches my technique, make sure I do it right. And it's like, yeah, of course there's some of that, but do you think that I just know theoretically what's a great squatting technique for me? No, I've just tried many different ways of doing it, and it gets better and better, and I figure it out because I get to know my body. And you know, it's so much people think it's just about information, but most information you get from just doing stuff, you know. There is so much that goes into a cable fly. Yeah, sure. But I mean, even it seems simple enough if you see it on a video, right? But then when you try it, it's like, yeah. It's like, I mean, if you see someone ride a bike, seems simple enough, but if you've never done it, you probably fall, you know. Very easy to use your shoulders or turn it into a press. Yeah, a lot of people do it in the pressing way. And I think if they know, it's always so many things in training are okay to do if you know why you're doing it, you know. But I've always done the flies with not a straight arm, but not extending the arm like that through the motion. But you see a lot of people doing it that way, you know. Yeah. Well, guys, I guess we'll end this stream for now. We'll end it for this time. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting videos more frequently. Again, this is now my full-time job. It's so fucking awesome to record videos, not like a thing like I have to try to get the video done before I go to my actual job. It's actually my job, all these things now. So that's fucking awesome. The plan is to put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and have the live streams on Sundays. And yeah, that's the plan to start with. So look forward to that. Alright guys, thank you all who watched and all who provided questions or subjects to talk about in the chat. I really need it for these streams at this point, so much appreciated. And yes, I'll see you later next week. Peace.